I wanted to take this opportunity to have a serious conversation with you regarding your employment status. Leadership has made the difficult but necessary decision to move forward with workforce reductions while we continue to align our business to the dynamic market environment and future pipeline needs. As a result of this review, I do need to inform you that Practice Leadership has made the decision to separate you from the firm. This is a decision that we have taken very seriously, and it is a final decision.
Hello, my name is Brandon. I am 29 years old. I live in Virginia, and it's been 8 months now since I got laid off. I went from having no job to having to start over again to now being 6 months into my new job. I can't believe it's already been 8 months now since I got laid off. In this video, I want to talk about what unemployment was really like for me, how I felt throughout the whole process, some of the pros and cons of being unemployed, and ultimately what I learned from this whole experience. I thought it would be a good idea to make this video because previously, when I was unemployed, I made a video titled A Day in My Life as an Unemployed Person, and to this day, it's still the most viewed video on my channel, and it made me realize that a lot of people were maybe interested in this chapter of my life. So I figured it would be a good time to give an update, reflect on everything that has happened over the last 8 months, and share some things that I learned along the way. And if you have been following the channel but are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me. I feel weird asking just because I never ask for this, but we're really close to 500 subscribers, and it's honestly something that I never thought I'd be able to see here on YouTube. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. So now let's get into it. So I was notified of getting laid off in late November, but my last day at that company wasn't until the beginning of November. So I was basically given like a 2 weeks notice. It was no surprise to me. I had a feeling it was going to happen. I don't think I've ever really specified this because I tried to keep this more like confidential in the past, but I work in consulting. So yes, I'm not like an engineer or anything like that, because a lot of people, they look at me and they just assume I'm a software engineer. Prior to October, I was already job searching. I probably started job searching in June of 2025. So I was job searching for a couple months before I got laid off. So between June 2025 and October 2025, I was already looking, but I just couldn't find anything. I couldn't even get like an interview. You know, leading up to getting that call, I was really stressed out. I was so worried. I was like, oh man, like I know it's gonna happen. You know, how long am I gonna be unemployed for? Because I know the job market, you know, at the time, the job market is just terrible, and I keep hearing of people getting laid off and some people taking a really long time to find a new job, or some people just not being able to find a job at all. So all of these thoughts were going through my head. It's funny, once I got the notification that I'm getting laid off, I just suddenly felt calm, because it's like, okay, it finally happened. You know, I finally got the news. I don't have to like really stress about the possibility, the idea of getting laid off, because it actually happened. Once I got the notification, I felt pretty calm about it. My parents, I think they were a little bit worried. I would say my mom was probably more stressed about the whole situation than I was. But yeah, after I heard the news of getting unemployed, I immediately filed for unemployment, and I got 1 month of severance. I worked at that company for 4 years, and I got 1 month of severance. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, sure, it's better than nothing. But I know of companies that will give people like 6 months of severance. And I mean, if I got that much severance, I could have actually like taken time off to like go on a vacation and actually relax and reflect on what I want to do next. But I got 1 month, and you know, I live in an apartment. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment by myself. Rent here in Northern Virginia is not cheap. So I just got like the 1 month of severance, and I'm like, well, shoot, like I gotta like start applying now. Like I really gotta, well, I mean, I was already applying, but like I really gotta lock in, because after the 1 month of severance is gone, like I'm screwed. I have no money coming in. But the thing is, I did file for unemployment, and I was getting some money every week, but the amount of money that they give you is like, it can cover like food, but it barely covers my rent. So like it's helpful. It's like a little bit of help, basically. It's not going to cover everything for me. So during this unemployment arc of my life, this lasted for about 2 months, November 2025 through December of 2025. Every day was pretty much the same for me. I would do my usual like walking, and during this time period, I started to do 10,000 steps every single day, and I've kept up with it, and I'm really proud about that. So that's one pro of me getting unemployed, I guess. I became more disciplined with the walking. So, I did my walking, and I applied to jobs, did my research, tried to network every single day. The thing is, you can't spend the whole day doing that. Like I only spent maybe 2 hours tops. Because the thing is, it's not like there's like new job openings coming up every single day. For the line of work that I do, like maybe like one a day at the very most would show up. I spent more time like prepping for potential interviews, because if you're just like constantly searching on like LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever job site you're on, if you're just like clicking the refresh button all day long, it's not really productive. So with that being said, another pro for me, like during this unemployment period, is I had a lot of free time, and it was relaxing. Even though I was stressed out about not having a job, it was relaxing because I had some time off to myself. And during this time period, I started to take YouTube a lot more seriously. I posted a video every single day. I saw a lot of growth. I mean, my channel grew like 200-300 subscribers like during like that 2-month unemployment period. So I was really happy about that. And it really made me realize that, YouTube is, number one, I have so much fun doing it, but it could also one day be something big. It helped me realize that like when you work these 9-to-5 jobs, right? Nowadays, nothing is guaranteed. You can be loyal to a company, you can be hardworking, but these companies, they can let you go whenever. Me getting laid off, it made me realize that, I was too comfortable in my job, and I need to try other things, learn new skills. And I realized that, YouTube is one of those things that I could work on. I've always had dreams of being a YouTuber as a kid, but then I never really did anything about it. And then last year I decided, well, hey, like, I have a lot of time. Like, let's do this for fun, but maybe one day this could actually become a reality. But I can't make this a reality unless I try, right? So I would say the last pro of me getting laid off and being unemployed is that it gave me time to think about what I wanted to do, like outside of my 9-to-5. I realized that I truly have a passion for doing YouTube, and I definitely do have dreams of maybe doing this as a full-time thing if possible. So to go through the cons of this unemployment phase in my life, I would say the general ones was like, I don't have any money coming in, so I was really stressed out about that. For me, like I'm the kind of person where I personally track all of my spending. I have like a Google sheet, and I do like every month I track all of my expenses, and I have a budget for certain things. So when I was laid off, I had to like reevaluate my budget, and I had to figure out, okay, like what areas like can I reduce my spending on? What are some things that I just have to cut out completely? So I'll give an example. Like the one thing that I stopped doing was like completely stopped like eating out. I like deleted my DoorDash app, because the app knows me, because at 5 o'clock every night, I get a notification from DoorDash saying like, hey, like, are you hungry? So to reduce any of those temptations, I just delete the app from my phone. It was also tough for me just because November, December is usually when my seasonal depression will kick in. So during this time period, when it's colder and it's, it gets dark outside really quickly, and it just makes me more sad. It's so easy nowadays to compare yourself to other people. And I feel like I went through a lot of like comparing of like, oh, like all of my friends, everyone around me like has a job, but I don't. So like I feel like a bum because of that. So I was going through those kinds of thoughts as well. And then, tie that into the whole year in general. 2025 was a very tough year for me. If you want to know more about why I felt that way, I have an hour-long podcast where I talk about it. So yeah, 2025 was just not a great year for me. And then basically to end the year, I got laid off. I also want to point out, while I was unemployed, I attended a networking event. So not only was I trying to like reach out to people like, on LinkedIn and like connecting with people, like emailing people, things like that, but I also attended an in-person networking event. I was trying to do everything that I could. This event that I went to, almost everybody that was there was unemployed just like me. So I was in a room filled with people in the same position as me, also unemployed, but it was just so eye-opening for me to see, just because I met people that were around the same age as me. I met people that were older, like people closer to like my parents' age, and they're like, yeah, like I need to find a job. I met people who were unemployed for over a year trying to find work. I met a married couple, both the wife and husband are both unemployed looking for a job. And I just look around and I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's just so miserable, like we're in the holiday season and like we're all just like trying to find a job, it's not a good feeling. So being there at this networking event made me realize like there are other people that are in a much worse position than I am. So I got a job offer, I want to say like mid-December, because it happened before Christmas. So I got the job offer, and at first I was actually like, what? And the reason why is because the offer that they gave me for the salary, it was a lot less than what I was making at my last job. So at first I was like, oh, like, ooh, yeah, like I'm gonna need a bit more than that. So, I tried to negotiate, and ultimately they would not budge. They would not, give me any sort of raise. I still accepted the job offer because that's the best decision for me. Because it's not like there's other job offers that are coming my way, and who knows how long I will find the next job opportunity. So I just had to take what I can get. I will say initially I was a bit disappointed. I was disappointed that I had to take a job offer that is going to pay less than what I was making at my last job. But the one thing that I had to like tell myself to kind of make me feel better about the whole situation is that basically the way I see it is, yes, I was making more money at my last company, but when I was unemployed, I was making $0. So from $0 to my current salary now at my new job, it's technically a raise. So that's like kind of like the mindset that I have with this. I don't know if I'm like gaslighting myself by saying this, but yeah, that's how I see it. And again, it's the best decision for me. It's the best thing that I could have done, because I didn't want to risk not taking the job offer and then potentially going several more months of unemployment and not having any money come in. So fast forward 6 months from accepting the job offer to today. We're currently in June 2026. I am 6 months into the job, and I mean, overall, I'm content. I wouldn't say I'm super happy just because I feel like I could be making more. But the thing is, for me, I'm the kind of person where I really value my life outside of my job. I'm not a career-minded person, but I do think it's important to, have a job that can pay the bills. Like, I can still, live on my own. I can still go out to eat. I can still buy things that I enjoy. So it covers that. So overall, I am grateful that I have this job, and I just remind myself that there are other people out there who would kill to have my job. So, I remind myself that every single day. So I am obviously grateful and content. with the job. But during this time, I moved into a new apartment. I, trying to be, consistent with YouTube. I can't post every day. I wish I could, but I try to post at least once a week. So to wrap this up, what did I learn from this whole experience of getting laid off and unemployment, things like that? So I kind of talked about some of them throughout the video, but I'll just go through it again. So number one, I realized that life doesn't always go according to plan. When I think about my life, when I think about my future, I never really thought about like, oh yeah, like in a couple years, like I'm gonna get laid off. I never had that kind of mindset. But after getting laid off, I kind of realized like I do need to think about these kinds of things, because just because I was laid off once in the past doesn't mean I can't get laid off ever again. It can obviously happen to me, and it could happen to me whenever. So the second thing that I learned, and it kind of ties in with the first thing, I can't be too comfortable working in this job. Because again, working these 9 to 5s, when you're working for these corporations, working for somebody else, you can't stay comfortable and just think everything is gonna be okay. You gotta be more prepared. That's all I'm gonna say with this. The third thing that I learned is that growth is not always going to be linear. I had that realization when I got the new job offer and I was gonna be getting paid less money. I was disappointed, but then it kind of made me realize like this isn't like a permanent thing. Like I can always, continue to work hard, and like I'll hopefully get some raises along the way, and I'll be back to where I was before. And then the last thing, and it kind of like ties everything together, is I learned to be grateful. When I was unemployed, I felt grateful that I had this time off for myself. I was grateful that during that time period, I learned that I truly have a passion for YouTube, and I want to continue being as consistent as possible on here. And then, today, I'm grateful that I have this job, because I realize that there are plenty of people out there who are job searching and unemployed. And basically, I can be in a much worse, financial position. So overall, I'm really grateful for the experience and just everything that happened to me, because it taught me a lot about myself and what I value in life. So I'm editing my video right now, and I totally forgot to add this part into the ending. So basically, what I want to say is, to anybody who is job searching or currently unemployed, I know the feeling. I know it's tough out there, so just keep your head up. It's not gonna last forever. All right, that's it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.